Welcome to another episode of The Look, where I look at your chart, your messaging, your offers, and identify where is the little misalignment in your messaging, in your content, in your positioning, so that you can attract the right type of clients, the all-in clients ready to buy. You can engage here by using this little question button and ask you questions about client attraction, messaging, positioning. If you're currently in a launch and this is usually why clients come to me. They have incredible offers, probably you too, and they want more people to join or the right type of people. So if you don't see the right type of clients coming in and asking how to work with you, or you want just more people experiencing your incredible work, then this is the live stream for you. I'm very excited for this because an incredible projector 2.4 Splenic Projector has messaged me and asked for a brand and messaging audit. And so how that goes is that I send out a questionnaire and they fill out the form so that I get to know them in their business and their vision and what they're really passionate about to help people with, what their offers are. And then I look at the chart, and the chart tells me exactly your success potentials, your profit potentials, and what you're here to bring to the world in the most effortless way, to work with clients, how you design to work with them, how you are designed to attract them, how you design to sell. My genius is really the marketing and sales part, and I'm excited to do that today with you. So if you're watching live, say hello in the comments and let me know what human design you are. If you're watching the replay as well, say hashtag the look, because this is the look format where I look at your chart and review your messaging, especially on Instagram, your brand, how you position it, how you're seen, or probably why you don't feel really seen by the right clients. And it is, I would love to hear which human design types are here, what your profile is, what your authority is. And as I said, you can use this little questionnaire button here to ask your questions. And by the end, when we have still time, I'm gonna answer them. Rita is already here. She's the one that I have here, her chart, and the answers of the form. But before we go into that, the reason why this is, I want to share the reason why this is so timely right now is I think that a lot of you are experiencing a massive shift. You have changed so much over the last weeks. Your vision, your values, what you're passionate about, your entire identity, your entire being. We have been all through a massive season of upgrades, change, and identity shifts. And another client, authority client of Brenda is here. Rita's here. Hello. The comments are working. Thank you so much. So as I said, if you're hopping on, share your human design in the comments. And you're happy, I want to invite you to really engage and comment along whenever something resonates, whenever you have a deeper question, then please engage. That shows me that the parts that I'm talking about really resonate, and maybe I go deeper into them. The reason why this is now so timely is because we're moving out of this old way of working with clients, running our businesses, living our lives, eating, working out, like the whole change of this paradigm. And if you're an intuitive, creative visionary, you get it, you feel it, you felt it the entire years, but now the whole collective is feeling it, especially this week and with this upcoming new moon. This is a really once in a lifetime event of massive change. And massive change also means, instability, unclarity, and a new direction, and I'm here to help you find clarity so that you can move forward confidently with more clarity and certainty, and get more seen, attract really incredible clients, get your work out to more people, because you are a trailblazer. Your work is different. Probably it's very deep, it's very transformational. It's not the cookie cutter thing. Now, when we open our phones and look at the coaching space, we see a lot of same way of selling, marketing, messaging, etc. And the reason probably, and all of my clients, the reason why they are not at the level of leadership, success, freedom, wealth that they want, is because they have been boxed into that old way of running their businesses, working with clients, and especially when it comes to marketing and selling, which is the key in your business. If you have a business, you have to learn the skills of marketing and sales. Now, most of my clients that I attract are not designed, and this is not their strength, to market and sell. And that's okay. That's okay, because I'm the designer of marketing and sales. And so we always get attracted to the other that complements our chart, so that you can receive those skills, learn your way of marketing and selling. And this is my focus with my clients. It's not the way. And then you can go and do your thing and grow your business and scale your business, because you know what's actually correct for you, what is incorrect for your chart. And you can let go of all the old way of doing it and make more money in a way that feels finally good to you. Okay. So right now, as I said, we have a lot of changes. And if you have a new offer, you want to work with a different type of client, you come up with, this new vision, then this is important to know about your chart. And you want to make more sales, using your human design will help you do that in a more aligned way that feels really good. And this is way easier. It doesn't feel like rolling up, a hill, going against the stream, swimming against the stream, and it's exhausting. I've been there. We all have been there, where we don't want to do that anymore. Now, when it comes to selling an offer, this is what I see with incredible leaders all the time. There is this passion, the desire for the offer. And because we're so deep into our work, we're kind of so deep down here that the way we share about it and the way we market and sell it is very deep level. But there is a difference between talking about the work that we're doing and marketing it. So, and I want to help you create clarity why maybe not more people are buying. It just takes a slight refinement. Your offer shows you exactly, even to the level of keynotes, like the content, the way you are designed to speak. When you live your design, and that's why the embodiment and the deconditioning of the design will eventually make you more money than focusing just on the strategy and messaging. And when you live your design, you naturally are drawn to the things that you're designed to bring to the world. You're naturally living your design, and you are creating things that are naturally to you, and you're sharing about them in the way that you're designed to be most successful. So meaning you express yourself, you talk about the things exactly in the keynotes. So please keep that in mind. This is very important, that it's not just about knowing about your chart. And this is where I see a lot of coaches who are using tools like human design, where I think it's not really in integrity with the system, nor with your energy, to teach you a concept, how to use human design in your marketing and sales, without guiding you in the deconditioning process to live your design, because only then it's fully aligned, and only then you get out of the head into your body, and then business feels like just getting paid to be you, and you just live and you share and you create and you're in flow, and money is coming in and clients is coming in, inspiration never ends and energy never ends. And this is what I'm living right now. But to get here, it took me years to decondition, and also figuring out how that can be applied to business, because this is nothing that I see anyone teaching out there or guiding or implementing in that depth and that level. A couple of mentors of mine and who I work with are doing that, but let's talk about the big scope of the things. So when we talk about offers and how to create and sell incredible offers, then there are multiple things that I want you to be aware of and mindful of. That is for any human design type, for any offer. Now, before I want to talk about how to, what is important to create offers that, to sell offers effortlessly. Yeah, the sales part. And then I want to look at Rita's chart and really apply it in a practical way so that you can see what that would look like when I do that with your chart. And that what I'm sharing about will help you understand and shift your perspective on what you actually need to focus on and talk about when sharing your offers, so that you get more seen by your ideal clients and know how to communicate clearly the value of your offers so that they see it. Okay, because it's one thing is about, attracting clients, but you want the right type of clients that are exactly a perfect match for your offers, because then it's a yes, it's obviously, of course, I join. I have a free training for you, a 30-minute training, if you're watching this live or watching the replay, where I go deep into the personal brand aspects and how having and building a personal brand in alignment to human design can help you increase that visibility and have consistently ideal clients coming in without selling anything. So there's a focus that we want to have on messaging that is offer related, but then there's the focus on your brand, your positioning, that constantly brings in clients, no matter if you're in a launch or if you already have clarity about your new offer. This is key. So that would be an incredible add-on to today's live review, what you learn here. And you can get the link completely free by just commenting. Now I have to look into attract, the code word. I just created it and I had so many new ideas coming in. Attract. Okay, just comment attract now or with the replay and you get the link. It's completely free, 30 minutes, and it will give you clarity about the overall message that your personal brand should radiate out with your human design to attract. Really also, for me in my world, it's always that premium client. You want that premium client, because selling high ticket, attracting high level clients is always easier than selling low ticket. Okay, so comment attract and I'm going to send you the link. And also one final notice before I go into it. While I was doing this and while I was looking at all my clients, I have clients in my authority program, which is my one-on-one mentorship, and there's another incredible client of mine. I have currently authority is my messaging and marketing mentorship for all human design types, and I see that especially with visionary, creative, intuitive leaders, business owners, happening a lot. And it's important right now that this topic of communication is so key, because we're so deep in our work, we're so intuitively, that anytime we focus on anything that you should be doing, how you should be selling, how you should create content, a sales page, a funnel, etc. How you should speak to desires of your ideal client, even the clarity about your ideal client. It gets you so much in your head. And this incredible deep work that all my clients are creating is so next level, and yours probably too, is so next level. It's so coming from the future, because we are all we're all aliens, we know that, coming from the future with that gift that is meant for the transition, for the time coming. And while you might felt all the time behind, or you're putting a lot of effort in and you feel like you're not there yet, that this time is coming. It's speeding up. This year already showed that so many things are changing and people are getting it slowly, what you're talking about. And so once you understand that the way how you have built your business and created messaging and marketing, especially selling, today is really about sales and selling an offer, was the old way, that it was nothing wrong with you, it was nothing wrong with your offer. It's just that you have not learned the correct way that is aligned with your energy, your design, your energetic signature, and your success potential to create the success that you're meant to have. And this is the new way. So just with understanding and mapping and refining a couple of things, and I had that with one of my clients over a weekend, things changed so quickly, and ideal clients are now suddenly in the inbox like crazy, because there's the clarity about how to communicate that. Okay. And when it comes to communication, then the way how I see a lot of people, not just my clients, we're going to change that quickly, but I open the phone and I see so many visionary, gifted, the way how you communicate does not nearly matches the genius that you are, because that way how we design, how we're conditioned, how we are trained to communicate, to market and sell. Yesterday I was on a business training, and even those people who are not in the coaching space, they still use the same sales language, highly pain point oriented, victimhood addressing, savior complex, etc., and also very strategic. So thinking about the things. And that is the killer for all creators, artists, intuitive, because once you get too much in your head, you're disconnected, you're actually going into a not self frequency, and then your energetic signature, which is exactly the frequency where your ideal clients come in, where you're most magnetic, where you're not overthinking, we're just so much in the flow. It's kind of the jam, the vibe that you have with your clients on a call. That energy is your most magnetic frequency to attract clients in. And that is the messaging that I create with my clients, that they get on a live stream and just really share from that embodied wisdom, from what you see as a projector or what you are here to initiate as a manifestor. And there's no overthinking. And guess what? That is speaking to that exact type of client, because they are actually interested in deep stuff like you. But if you dim down yourself and your message, or even position yourself, because of all this explaining and teaching, as a teacher, and the truth is you're an activator, you're a guide, you're a visionary, this is the gap. And your ideal clients are looking for the guide, the activator, the deep transformation, and not another person who sells and teaches the next 5 steps. And yesterday I was on a call where they again wanted to sell me a blueprint, a 5-step blueprint. I'm like, darling, I'm bored. Thank you for your 50 slides presentation, but not for me. I'm out. So I'm definitely I'm out, and not I'm all in. Sign me up. Yeah, doesn't send me the link. Doesn't care what it costs. I'm just in. So you want those type of clients, and that means they get to see you, who you truly are. Then we're a match. It's like dating. If you always fake it to a guy, you will not attract the guy, and you will always feel like you're have to perform. And this is what makes the normal way to market and sell feel really like performance. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments if something resonates with you. That you have to explain, teach, prove, convince, all that. You want, and then you end up in this lean forward energy of you want to make people move. Like, finally, come on, join my offer. I know that I can help you. I have the best offer. Fucking sign up, right? I've been there. But you want to be in that lean back energy, and the clarity and that certainty comes when you know this about your chart. So, and when you know how to communicate the value that you have to bring. And that is way easier than they make us believe. So I have one more thing that is kind of the context before we go into the chart. There is a difference between messaging. Let's start differently. Okay, in order to sell an offer successfully and effortlessly, you want to have clarity, and this is kind of what the coaching space and what people who are selling, whatever, it's this common sense. You have three parts. There's the messaging, there's the offer, and then there's the marketing. So messaging is usually speaking to a certain niche. And this is what they usually tell you. You're going to niche down and get so clear and so niche down who your ideal client is. And then you have the offer that is, because you speak to a problem of a client, and then you present the offer as the solution. So you have the messaging, you have the offer that gives them the solution. Your messaging is, hey, I'm the expert here in XYZ, and I solve your problems. And here is my solution. That's the offer. And then there is the marketing that promotes that offer, because there's this overall, you stand for a niche. You are a health coach. You are Brenda is on here, and she is in my authority program, and she is mentorship. And she came to me as a postpartum coach. Positioning that's very niche. Women, postpartum, one specific topic, solving one specific problem. And this is what they teach you. But the thing is that you then, and this is what happened to me as well, you then only get known for that one topic. And while you can scale with niching down and with one offer or one different offer suite for that, and you can really master messaging, and you can scale even to 7 figures. But the question is that all that you have to offer? Is it what you want to be known for? And all the visionaries and all the creatives and all the ones who feel really called for more, we evolve, we grow. Hi Micah. We're also interested in other things. And when you grow, you outgrow that niche and you get bored, and you want to also talk about different aspects. Now all my clients are coming in. Hello. So the thing, and that's the problem, that this, especially the coaching space, all this, funnel, digital offers, you just have that one label on. And when you then want to change, your entire business will go down, or you stay stuck as that. And this is what I noticed, and this is why I pivoted last year and made that radical change. And I actually always was thankful that I had built on the side my personal brand, which the coaching space is not telling you. Because here's the thing, when you have your messaging and that is only niche to one topic, one ideal client, you're selling that offer, and the marketing sells that offer, and you want to change, then people will be surprised when you suddenly come out of the trenches with a different topic. Yeah. What the messaging is all about actually is it should bring in the bunch of ideal clients, a bunch, yeah, all the time. The correct messaging, meaning your positioning, what you're known for. That's your brand message. Then you have this wealth of ideal clients coming in, and then you have different offers within that ideal client roster, or let's say this there are a lot of ideal clients, but there's not always not all of them in your audience are a match for one offer. And this is the first thing that most of you are getting wrong, that you're mostly trying with the messaging. That's why it's different between messaging and marketing. There is the overall messaging that gets this ideal client, which is, I'm talking about this in the audio. That's why it's so important to comment attract below to get the ad in audio. What really attracts that consistent flow of ideal client that is a match. The vibe, the attitude, they're moving like you, they want to go deep like you, they see the things like you, they're matched to your chart. But your chart has more than just one niche topic as gifts. You are multi-passionate, you have multi-gifts, you are so more than just that one niche. I always say you are the niche, but then also fuck the niche. You need an edge. You need to stand out with your unique edge to attract those real amazing clients. You want them in. And this is what I talk more about in the audio. So just comment attract and you get the link. The second thing is that once you have your audience, you have people in building your email list, etc., they're ideal because you can help them. And then there's the offer, and you want to have different offers based on your chart. Every center has certain traits, every gifts, every channels. And so we want to define an offer suite that is ideal for a certain type of client within that whole spectrum of clients. Different. Is this new to someone? Because then the messaging speaks only to a specific part of that audience that is a match for a specific offer. This is marketing. So messaging is one thing, and then marketing and sales. So there's brand content and there's marketing and sales content. With the brand content, that's why, and this is what not the coaching space teaches you messaging to call in only that one niche client. I teach my clients, and this is what I role modeled since I started, to build your personal brand, which always attracts the vibiest clients. And they come to me and ask me, how can I work with you without even having an offer? And then there is an ideal offer in my world because I know my chart and I know what they need. So that is what you want. That gives you the freedom to evolve, because your brand evolves, and then there are different offers that we can create depending on where you are in your evolution, in your growth, in your own interests. You don't want to sell the same shit all the time. But here's the thing, the messaging when you're selling a retreat is different than you're selling a course or one-on-one or a workshop. And that is the difference. The coaching space teaches you to create messaging and to create a brand that gives you the label, I am the postpartum coach, I am the resilience coach, I am just the projector coach like I did with business, where now I broke free and I'm so much more. And what I'm doing now as one of my offers is to add the personal brand part right at the beginning. My recommendation is you're going to start with the personal brand because no matter what you're selling. So meaning that is the overall, hello Susanne, nice to see you. The overall, what I do with all my clients, to focus on the personal brand aside from the messaging to the offer. And the personal brand is the overall transformation and your edge. You have a transformation that you bring, that you work with clients, plus the edge of your personal brand, which makes you personal. I'm not talking about personal brand today, but that edge is why they buy an art. That is the all-in part. The edge you see with my style, my fashion, my yoga, my food. It's part of the transformation, but it's the edge that have me stand out. So when you comment attract, you get the audio, which is already one part, giving you clarity how to use human design to create that edge, to be seen by the right type of client. So make sure you comment attract. And then today I'm going to talk about and give an example with Rita's chart, how to create that messaging that have consistent right clients coming in, but then also looking at what is now the difference for the messaging marketing to sell and offer, the two differences. Okay, this is very, very important because it's different. And what I want you to understand is you have to, you can comment now. Comment now, it works. Either you comment now or you comment, Frauke, you know already the audio because you were live in Ibiza as we recorded that. Because as I was in Ibiza with my clients, we were starting to build a personal brand edge, which is innovative in this coaching space. Yeah. But I also want to let you know that this whole conversation, and especially the work that I've been doing with Amanda, my client, just recently, and then, Zafia is in my authority program, incredible woman here, Brenda, etc. We have been talking about the personal brand aspect and the embodiment of it, and really the social media and creating the content, and that excited me so much because the offer suddenly got so much more depth, more aligned. And so what I was just looking at Rita's chart here, and it got so intuitively the nudge to create something exactly in that constellation of personal brand, offer creation, and then the messaging and the marketing for you. And so my live day event in Amsterdam on May 10th will encompass all that. What I just have talked about and what I'm talking about today. It's an in-person day with me where we map out your personal brand, your positioning, your messaging, really who your ideal client is, then the offers that are truly aligned, but also then the messaging, how to market and sell that specific offer for a specific type of client. It's very refined based on your chart. And then there's a dinner event as well to connect with other incredible visionaries. And Brenda was at the design dinner day here. Micah was here too. The conversations are so next level and so activating. And that in combination with a strategy will bring your business so much forward because you're so clear and you exactly know what's working for you. And that's the thing that I love doing, that I love seeing most when my clients are just so like, fuck it, I now know it. And then they run with it. And then they see the clients and sales coming in. It's amazing. So we will have in Amsterdam also my photographer with me. and he will take photos, which is incredible because I want you to leave with that and fully also captured the new version that you're leaving with. That is happening May 10th. If you want information, message me. Because so many messaged me and said, oh my God, I want to come, but I cannot come this weekend, I will do a online brand immersion where we go through that over multiple days. If you comment attract, you get not just the audio as a prep, what I was talking about, but also you're on the list to get information about the brand atelier. It's going to be a brand and offer atelier. And some of you who are in my programs and my mentorship know that that was already an immersion I have held a couple of times, and it's so powerful. I'm going to bring it back. So we're going to do that online. It's happening mid of May after Amsterdam. So if you cannot come live to Amsterdam, definitely I invite you to join that. And then we have another live event here at my house. That's another day. Okay, so just comment attract, you get the audio training, and you're also on the list to get the information for the brand atelier as well. Okay, so that's just a short update about how I can do that with you. I want to talk about Rita's chart now, because was there one thing more? No, that is what I want to say. What I want to show you is, and I hope you have your chart also on hand, and I have the information of hers. One thing I want to say, when you're thinking, so can I ask you to engage with me a little bit here? I need a little bit of your feedback, answers. What do you observe? Is it one or two? Just say one or two. Is it that you're one, not attracting the right type of clients? You know, people coming like, yeah, I'm interested, but I cannot afford it, or it's not the right time, or, you know, or you go like, no. One, or number two, you just want more people. Yeah, they're coming in, there may be 3 or 4 or 5, but you're like, fuck, there must be 100 in it. So is it 1 or is it 2? Okay. Mikey, I know there's one offer where you had people not signing up, so people said it's interested. It depends on the offer, right? It depends on the offer. So comment with me. Maybe you have a higher ticket offer and you say, it's kind of not selling so well because I don't have the right type of clients for that higher level offer or a new offer. But the other offers that I have, they're going pretty well, but I want more. Can you add a little bit to your 1 or 2? Great. I assumed that. Good. So can you just distinguish a little bit? So probably the thing that you have been selling for now is more the number 2. It's going, I want more. But the new thing, or the higher level thing, is actually the thing that you are even more keen on doing. And it's probably the thing that you would love doing all the time. For me, it's one-on-one, in-person, VIP days, retreats, etc. So that is what I love doing most. The online thing is great, but it's also limiting. But I want to reach more, so we're doing both. But the one thing is where my genius comes in most, the stage. And I know this is for you too. You have that bigger package where your whole genius comes out, right? And this is usually where people say, oh, I would love to one day, but I don't have the money. So it's about the messaging that needs to speak to a higher level client. And also the messaging needs to be refined with different parts of your chart. Because you're so good at certain parts of your chart that you already radiate, embody, attract, but then there are other parts which are at a higher level. And also the communication of that offer or the packaging of that offer gets to be different for that type of client. And this is where the refinement comes in. And I want to say very hard, I don't like this hard truth like what others are saying. I want to say that very tough love, but refining the sales skills and the messaging is an ongoing thing. And if you have a business, that is marketing and sales is something we always need to tweak, align, refine. It has nothing to do that you suck. It has nothing to do that your launch failed. It doesn't mean that your offers suck if you don't see the sales or clients coming in. It just means there's information that something is off and we need to look at it and we can refine it. And that is where a mentor is key. Someone who looks at your offer, someone looks at your strategy, someone gives you that feedback instead of figuring it out yourself or even going into that spiritual part of, yeah, maybe it's not meant this time, or there's a different lesson to learn, or whatever. It's all of that, but also let's take the emotions out and look at it from the CEO business perspective and say, okay, your strength is somewhere else, and I'm here to help you do more of what your genius is by getting the people in, because my strength is exactly that. Looking at your offer, looking at the messaging, tweaking it, packaging the offer in a different way, which is smarter, more interesting, new, and we figure all this shit out what we do anyway. But I want you to really feel empowered in it and not think that, and don't internalize it and think that you're doing something wrong, but also don't try to figure it out yourself. I know you're so self-driven and you're such a leader and you're so resilient, and I love you so much for that. That's your biggest gift. But at some point you make it harder than it should be. So with one session or one feedback, whatever, you can tweak and run again. So you have to understand in your launch process or in building your business, when it's time to run yourself and try and explore and integrate, I'm here for it. I know, Mike, I'm talking to you. I'm here for it because I'm not here to hold your hand. And I'm my sixth line. And as a sixth line, I'm here to really help you become your own authority. I'm not a fifth line, always wanting to give you the answers. I help you find your own answers. I'm only here to just empower you. You have the answers. But then there must be that moment where you go like, It's like this sacral energy of you have to know when enough is enough. Yeah? And there is, every best athlete has a trainer. Yes, they train themselves, but when it comes to refinement of the skills, when I go to my yoga teacher, I can do yoga every day. But when I go into a class, I know I'm advanced level, and it's hard to find at that level the perfect teacher or mentor or guide. And I know you are looking for because we're so different in our design, in our being, you want to have someone who really sees you and gets you. But that little tweak, that little refinement lets you run. It's like, Super Mario? What do they eat? Help me out. Who played that? I mean, who is here? 80s, 90s. Super Mario? And what were they eating? Like den Pilz gegessen? Maike, help me out. Did we eat the mushroom and then we were like faster? That's what mentorship is about. You all would recommend that to your clients, right? But we always need our own medicine. I also have to remind myself, like, yes, I'm fucking good at what I'm doing, but I cannot see my blind spots. And, I need also that part. So that is a little bit that moment where, like, self-awareness, where you're trying too hard and pushing, sales away, when maybe a couple of earlier in the process, getting some feedback could have helped you. Now, there's nothing there's also when you're in a launch or when you have an incredible offer and nobody bought yet or whatever, don't throw in the towel. Look at what can you tweak now. And especially when it comes to deadlines, I want to say, you decide the deadlines. And when there is a deadline with a launch that is tied to certain, booking a revenue, or you have organized an event and you have catering there and you have whatever, and you're like, and at some point I need to make a decision. Go and talk to the people, find a solution. Like, my possibility view is always like, there is a possibility. There is a possibility. And usually we think, so no, it's not possible. It's usually there is something. And getting in that creative brainstorming with someone else helps you see that. Okay. Now let's go into the audit. The audit is, I look at the chart, I have a revenue, I have a questionnaire here, and I'm picking out of the questionnaire a couple of things that truly stand out. And the biggest question that Rita had, she is a 2-4 Splenic Projector, and very, very open. So I'm going to show you the chart here. You can see that, the openness on her chart. I'm going to turn in a second my camera. Second the camera. And show you exactly the specifics what I see in the chart. But how I work with those audits is when I see, and this is my gift that came on this year. So drop a yes in the comments if you noticed that some intuitive gifts, some feeling, hearing, seeing, sensing, like these psychic gifts, kind of got dialed up. So I'm very much acoustic designed in my chart, and when I read or hear, I kind of decode a frequency or something in words what clients are saying to me, that this is the conditioning in the chart. And then I look at the aspect of the chart where that relates to, and I can clearly see where we can refine it. It's a gate, or it's a channel, or it's a center. And so when you think, maybe I'm not good enough, I'm not seen, or whatever, that these are aspects of our not self, because words we speak are how we create. So words we speak is not descriptive. So saying you describe a launch, or you describe your current situation in a business, or you describe even yourself, it's actually not descriptive. You're not describing, you are creating. In that moment, looking at, usually we women, and German women, we often immediately tend to look at what's not working, or what we have to do better, or what we could improve. Yeah, I'm not this enough, I'm not that enough, I'm not here enough, I'm not there enough. And while we just talking about it, we think we're just describing a situation. We're actually manifesting exactly, Maike. We're exactly creating the same thing. That's why I see and point that out. How you speak it is where the decondition, the slight alignment in your chart, and then in your messaging and in your offers happen. And then that's why I say you can never, now more than ever, just look at strategy. And that's why I'm not here for just a strategy session unless you're already an ongoing client of mine. Yeah. Or we continue afterwards, because for me it's wasted time, because you stay in your head but nothing really changes, and it is a disservice of me to just sell a session without integration. But a session that I sell is either to a current client, or we know each other longer, or whatever, but you cannot just book a session on my page. It's not just like a reading or something. Yeah. So And the desire for her is definitely to get seen by the right type of clients and attract the right type of clients. And the first thing that I want to talk about is less about an offer, but more, like I said, the positioning and the messaging is the first thing that is key to attract the right type of clients. And then the next step, we look at the offer. Yeah. So this is a messaging audit, and that's the first key thing. Because when you're clear about the messaging, what is messaging? Messaging is, this is what I stand for. This is my, my way, how I can help people, and this is who I help. That is the transformation that I give you, and this is who this is for. And you want to be clear about this. Then there are multiple ways how people can experience that transformation. That is in a session, that is in 3-month mentoring, that can be in a one-day event, in a retreat, in a whatever. But what I see is when you are selling, most of you, when you're selling, you are, or when you want to attract clients, more clients in your offers, you are conditioned by the industry to focus on the offer. You want to sell an offer, so you're promoting the offer. And there's often a lot of promotion of features. It's that long, it has that many calls, you get this, you get that, that's included, this included, this included. Even if this whole description of what's included, what this offer is about, and what you are doing is great, is different, is unique, is a vibe, you are still talking about the offer. And imagine that is like the difference that I see of great salespeople, my brand, my favorite brand, Saint Laurent, you know me, and other established high-end brands, they not just sell a blazer where they describe all, okay, it has buttons, 3 buttons here, it is black, it has stripes, it is cropped, it has 1 button here. I'm like, okay, cool. And maybe people say, okay, that's exactly the blazer that I was looking for. And then they buy it. However, when you sell an emotion, a story behind that blazer, or when you, and this is where the transformation comes in, when you can show the value of that blazer, I took it a little bit ahead, when you can communicate the value that the blazer has for the person in their lives, and how it changes their identity, their emotions, their life, you will attract a different person, and you will also speak to not just the person who is looking to find, a great blazer. When the point is that the value that your offers have is so next level. It's with the blazer. When I take the blazer on, I feel like a boss. I feel sexy, but also bossy. So the difference is, if you promote your offer with just description of the offer, you will speak to people who are just looking for a great blazer. And I'm going to tell you that mostly people are not even aware that they want the great blazer, because it's the solution for them. people usually come and say, you know what, I need a blazer. I want to feel this. I want to change this in my life. And when I tell you the story of my stage outfit, I had no idea that I gonna buy that stage outfit. I had a completely other thought in mind, a solution in mind, meaning an outfit. I had a vibe, a transformation that I desired, how I want to feel on stage. But I thought it's gonna look this way, and it ended up this way because the way how I got sold into was speaking to the vibe that I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel sexy and confident. So sexy and confident can be in a blazer. It can also be in a dress. So depending what you want to sell, right? It's all about the feeling and the desire that your client has as the transformation. So if you just focus on, does this change something for you? When you just focus on your offer and you focus on, okay, you get this amount of like 3 months and 5 calls, or you go on a 1 week retreat and you get this retreat package and you get this and we do this and we do this, then that speaks to only a certain percentage of people who are exactly looking for this. But in actual, there are way more people who desire a transformation and maybe don't even know that they're going to get their transformation when they, in a 3-month mentoring, because you know better that you need 3 months. Yeah. You know that, but they don't even know that. So it is about the vibe, the transformation, the change that they get when they come. And I want to say that it does not mean that if your offer is a no, it can be a yes in a different package. Am I certain about that? Even I'm in the between of it. Is my vision, I keep going. Yes, it's not changed. It's a match and a remembering that activates a lot of me. Okay, great. So I want to say that just because that, for example, 3-month package is not a yes, if you suddenly add a bonus to it, if you add an in-person event to it, if you add some other things to it and package it differently up, but still speak to that transformation, it can be a yes. So there's also very specifically in nuances, different things that we can see based on, I would say, from my experience, when I look at my clients' charts, then I see a strength in them. A strength can be Telegram chat, if they have defined throat. A strength can be one-on-one calls, if they have outer vision. A strength can be in-person activation as a manifestor, very much, or projectors who see in that moment. It can also be a strength, retreats as a generator, because this gathering and the being immersed in that sacral activation is very good. So there's a very unique strength. And when we find that and make it a bonus, like this whole thing gets different. It's a different vibe. But the first thing that you need to that I see is, I had an incredible other client who was just promoting an incredible membership and having all the tools in there, but you attract just a specific type of person when you go into tools and feature level, but you want a different. Okay, we talk to you soon, Michael. When we talk to that transformation, you attract the person who is more open to your guidance, which offer is the best. And you don't tie your selling just to an offer. Okay, so the first thing that I want to look at and look at the chart is, what is the overall transformation about this one? And no, it can be a yes in another package. Yes. So I also want to invite you, and this is what I told Brenda today, to listen to your client, what type of client and what would feel best for them to create a package for them. It's what I do all the time with my clients. Yesterday I had a client, she said, you know, I don't have time to come to the Amsterdam, but I want to come another day. So I said, okay, would you prefer to have a one-on-one? And so we created a one-on-one day here at my house. Yeah. So there's always an offer for your client. And this is where your sales skills and looking at and the communication. I have a sales script on my link tree that you can download a PDF, go to my link tree, download the sales script and go through that and ask the right questions. Instead of projectors going in and seeing right away, oh, I can help you with that and this is my offer, and trying to squeeze that client in that offer, ask questions. Create something new. This is the era of co-creation. When you're clear about your this is the beauty. When you have a personal brand, you always attract ideal clients, and then you're so free in your offers that you don't even need to launch because you co-create with those clients. That's what I always done, and now coming back to, because I'm not following that scaling structure and strategy anymore in the coaching space. And this is the new way of creating and working with clients, the new era, 2027. And I want to invite you to come either to the online or in-person brand atelier, where we focus on your transformation. And then thinking about possible offers that you can pull out of your pocket. But once you're clear with the transformation, that's clear. Okay, so one thing that stood out for me in the and that I'm gonna read something and that will resonate with so many of you. Rita said, you know, first the question is, what is your position, what is your niche in the old way? And she said, you know, conscious women and men that want to live a life with maximum health, wealth, and intimacy, that already know the path is about feeling with the body and want to be guided in that emotional transformation to activate their potential. There's a lot of stuff in there. While I'm saying don't niche down, I'm saying you are the niche. And when I look at your chart, the keynotes tell me exactly which parts of this overall thing are in your definition and which parts are in your open centers. So I told you all that I showed you the chart. So the chart only has 2 centers defined, and there are a couple of there's just one channel. Yeah. So the channel of transformation. The keynotes of this channel and the gates and the root is very defined. So they're very driven, very ambitious, and the spleen. So the root has certain topics like drive, ambition, motivation, but also burnout and overdrive and restlessness, and it has pressure. It has pressure to create, to bring something into form, which is great, but it also you will likely attract people who are burned out, who are in overdrive, who are always in this fight and flight mode, who have adrenal fatigue. And then that is what is blocking them to live a life in ease and flow and abundance. As a projector, you're here to role model what that slowing down means. Even if you're very driven, it's about being rooted and grounded in your body. With all that openness, there is a lot of other energy that I also feel from you, which is not fully leaned back and not fully anchored in you. Now, the spleen is about health, well-being. It's about insecurity. It's the instinct. It's intuition. And so when you have the channel of transformation, a projector gets recognized for their channels, not for your offer. And the overall transformation that you bring into a life, wherever you are, who you meet, this is what your mechanics are, is that you help people really transform and create with drive, with passion, with motivation into a transformation so that they feel safe, that they can thrive, that they feel healthy, that they have a well-being, that they follow and trust their intuition. And so when I hear then as keynotes and words, of course we go deeper into those aspects. This was just the overall, but for now that's kind of basic enough, because I want to look at other aspects of the chart as well for the transformation. But when I then look at, when you pull up things like wealth, intimacy, wealth is money. It's all about the ego. You have an undefined ego. Intimacy sounds like sacral and solar plexus, because that's where these topics are more prone. So that is something as a result that they experience when they do the work with you. But your work and also your messaging, and especially, let's say, if you're at the beginning stages of your building your business, and a lot of you watching this who are, focus on one topic first. I don't say niche down, but focus on that one topic, the main transformation that you offer. Start there and then build from there. That's what I always tell to my clients. Let's start with one thing. Yes, you might be, focused on relationships, and the more defined you are in your chart, there are different aspects, but let's start with one topic. And also here, the emotional transformation. That is your own healing about the undefined emotional center. So in the communication, I wanna invite you, and also in your offers, I wanna invite you in what you shared a little bit later, is this intuitively living your life and really slowing down to get grounded, rooted. It's root to rise is actually your vibe. Root to rise. You have to come back to your body. It's not just health. It's not just health. Health is key. It is important that people come back into the body. So when health is around the spleen, what was the offer? I have a training, Rita, that I would like to give you because it goes through the centers. I'm going to send you the link, and anyone who else wants that training, where you can identify which centers are yours, and then which are the keynotes and which are the topics for an overall transformation. Which one was that? Which training was that? Brenda, do you remember that? Was it? I think it was Offer Atelier. Actually, this is what we're going to do in the Offer Atelier. Yes. We do that in the Offer Atelier. Okay, so even better. So what this means is there is, in order that they root to rise, yes, it is about getting grounded, and that you have to be grounded first and relax and slow down to be able to listen and connect to your body and listen to your intuition. It's very subtle, right? And in order to listen to your body has to be clean and healthy. Because if you have illnesses and diseases and you are running on adrenaline all the time and you're eating unhealthy, you will not be able to listen to your intuition. Or you think that this is your intuition, but it's actually not. Yeah. So all that you have shared a little bit later with your own experience, your own health journey, is that part. So I want you to be mindful. All projectors see all the potential in others, and you have possibility view. So I look at the motivation as well. And there's a big part when I build personal brands and my concept really for established business owners it's now time to build a personal brand. If you have an established business, that's it. And knowing your motivation, how it affects your brand, your motivation attracts a certain type of client. If you are in transference, that's a sign why not ideal clients are there. So one thing we're also going to do in Brand Atelier and in Amsterdam, understanding that. So possibility view and then the motivation. You have hope motivation. Hope motivation got me to a point where you shared something with me. I'm like, oh, here we are. You also have your 2-4. So meaning the right people, all your 4th lines, your ideal clients are already in your network. But when you're not speaking to them, they don't connect with you. They don't see the opportunity. Yeah. So I want you to really laser in your messaging and your content on those 2 topics. Okay, Rita? And the brand and offer atelier would be the perfect next step to do that with me. Then we can look at your personal brand, because looking at your Instagram, there's a lot of room for improvement to really stand out and make it visible that this is a powerful leader. So the difference between coaching industry and messaging for a program and offer, have you get recognized just as a coach, but I want to position you as a thought leader, a trailblazer, the messaging, like dialing that up. Okay. So what really stands out for me here, you are very, with your conscious sun, it's all about growth. That's why this is growth and evolution is for you. When you share your biggest gift, your biggest part of your personal brand is you're a woman who desires growth. You're here for growth and evolution. Yeah. And sharing that is your strength, is what others will find attractive, what others want too. But when they're in overdrive, when they have adrenal fatigue, then they don't know what their vision is. They don't know what they want. So you can play with, creating your vision, and you have also then the earth, sun and earth is really sun and earth personality. I look at your sun personality, your earth personality, and also in the design, you have gate 41 in the unconscious sun, in 4th line expression. So it's definitely a mystical part. And this is really interesting. How often do we feel too woo, or people don't understand me? You share this a lot with me, Rita, that you always think people don't understand you. And there was one, right? Who else is here? Like intuitives, visionary, aliens here. So when you have gate 61, look at your chart. Do you have gate 61? That's the mystical part. That's actually the gate that will not, that's the gate of that connection to the supernatural, to the overall spiritual, to the higher realms and the awakening and awareness. And that gate will change post 2027. So you're here to really help them, especially going towards 2027, to access that awakening, that realization, to that mysticism, to that otherworldly realm, which is coming through the intuition. And it's about inner truth. That gate is about inner truth. The inner truth. What is true for you? So when you help people to really evolve, then they need to connect to that inner truth, that inner awareness, that godly, divine, universal, the universe, giving to them. And that means you have to blend out everything, and you're here to guide them back to that. And the earth, I'm looking at the design earth and the 62, you have in your undefined throat, like I have too, the 33, the 31, it's leadership, voice of the leader. So positioning yourself as a thought leader. You have also the gate of details. So you're not here for the surface level, but usually you feel too much for that. And then what also stood out for me a lot, looking at the Mercury, currently I'm looking at the Mercury placements, role modeling, gate 10. So you're sharing Mercury placement as your personal brand message. So as simple as, what is truth for me? That we are guided and to be abundant in success. Yes, but please don't talk about this overall abundant and success. Make it more relatable to people around, okay, if you're meant for abundant success, in order to get there, you have to really come back to your body. That is the key. You have to share that and share what helps you to get there. It's this grounding, it's rooted, it's following your intuition. And you are role modeling that just through 10.3 is the trial and error. You experience a lot of these things. And you have the 42 as well in the Mercury. So that is all about the gate of growth. In order to grow, in order to get into that feeling of growth and abundance, then you have to slow down and connect and heal, and very practical things are, what are you doing to do that? Like, what is the practices? Well, that could be an offer to help them, get into their body and do that. But what I also want to explore, yes, you're sharing that, but I also flipped through your Insta stories today, and how you're sharing it is because you have the gate of the detail, and this is what I see a lot of projectors are doing, is you're overly sharing. It's not appropriate for the platform of Instagram. You need this is what I create with all of my clients, a platform of influence where you can share your depth in detail, like a podcast. But when you have 20 slides with just so much text on it, also in caption, in a font that is really hard to read, people don't read that. You're wasting time and energy as a projector, and it feels like explaining and convincing or teaching and describing, and not really role modeling. And this is the difference between having a personal brand and knowing how to use that on platforms like Instagram, and where you don't talk about it. Yeah. You don't not talk about it in terms of explaining what you're doing and so much text. You don't see me having text all the time. It's really documenting your life. And this personal part of that marketing, to the personal brand will sell more your work than the marketing. When I talked about the messaging overall and the marketing, and you want to sell an offer, eventually your personal brand will sell that offer more and easily than promoting an offer. And that is the big difference. And this is what, based on your chart, will help you overall. When you focus on the personal brand, will help you create recognition. This is for projectors so important. And so in the brand atelier, in person or virtual, we focus extremely on that, because that is the key that makes everything easier. And none of you have that. If you want a sustainable business and more sales, then that is the key. And understanding to build that with alignment in your chart is incredible. It makes everything so much easier. So I recommend here one last piece that is really important for you that I wanted to point out is your hope motivation. There was something that you shared in the questionnaire that really nailed it. You said something where I asked, I always ask my clients, and you can answer that for yourself, what is the thing that you think is too much about you? Because that's usually our biggest gift. And so what stood out here as I looked at, you have hope motivation and the gate 61. You said you're too enthusiastic. That's your nearly full undefined route. Yeah. You're not, you gotta ground yourself and be very mindful with that enthusiasm, and follow your strategy and authority. But it's nothing wrong about you, but you want to know who your environment is important. If you're among people who are as enthusiastic and driven like I am, and a lot of here watching this, that's not too much. That's just normal. But when you're around wrong people, that is too much for them, but you're not too much. Okay? So it's just a sign that you have something that is a strength. And then you also shared, stop believing in fairy tales. Stop naive dreaming. Girl, that is hope motivation. I was like, you're living your design. And this is how you're gonna attract and sell and actually communicate what you're selling. So that means hope motivation is really here for all of us, to people with hope motivation, to role model and show us that this deep faith, trusting and certainty beyond the logic, that's what your brand should be about. That you talk so much about people trusting and believing into something higher than all that 3D shit. That's the path to go. And even if it doesn't work out, and even people, this is where you gotta go even more all in. Even if nobody engages or resonates, then yeah, you maybe have, not spoken to the right people, but also there, I see that you then think, oh, something is wrong, something needs to be fixed. You're flipping into guilt motivation. And then you stop doing what you're actually designed to do. So I want to close that audit with that message, because I want you to feel into these aspects and really lean into, let's say, take the month of May, next 30 days, and just share intuitively from a grounded, very spiritual place. And I think it's the point, the environment, and now I'm crying, yes, certainty in the vision and the dreaming. And dialing that even more up and speak to other highly intuitive, highly spiritual, mystical people who are also driven, who are also visionaries. So there's both. It's not just the woo-woos who are just sitting there meditating. You're here for the ambitious ones who want to really make a change and grow in their lives and relationships and businesses, but they got to do that from that deep trust and connection to their spiritual, mystical side. Okay, so let that sink in. I really hope that you said, that was valuable. So I'm very happy for this. Gave you some things to feel into and some clarity and confirmation that what you're actually doing is not wrong. It's exactly right. And I love that. And then the next step is to refine that messaging and looking at the overall transformation. When you have the overall transformation, that's what I do with my clients in authority. This is what we're going to do in the brand atelier, is the overall transformation. You can pull out of that overall transformation offers. Wow, this final was very powerful and activating. Great. So if you want the details that I'm putting together for Brand Atelier, is happening online virtually mid-May, then just comment attract and I know that you want the details and you get the audio that is already preparing you for it. And yeah, if you want an audit from me with a one-on-one session, you can absolutely message me for that. And the infos for Amsterdam in person. It's so powerful. One day, half strategy day, dinner together, photography, all about, building a personal brand, offer creation, and the messaging, marketing, all together in one day. Plus the conversation, the activation, and the real deep talk. For me, it's important that we look at it as thought leaders and change makers. And I think that being in a room with like-minded people is the key for it. And that's what I want to create with you together. You're so welcome. Okay, I hope everyone else found value in this. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. And other than that, I'm going to see you very soon. Bye.